Hey everybody, welcome to Eureka Math / Engage in New York Math, Module 4, Lesson 30, One-Step Problems in the Real World. And a lot of these problems today are going to involve geometry. And so before we jump into the problems, I want to do just a brief review of a couple of vocabulary words that hopefully you should remember from 4th grade and maybe even a little bit in 5th grade. So, really cute, really quick. Here's an acute angle. Anything less than 90 degrees, we should have started down here, but here's a right angle is a 90-degree angle, right? Like the edge of your paper, okay? The edge of a square, the edge of a rectangle. If it's less than that, so something like that, or something even like that, it's close to 90 but not quite there, or something really small, that's an acute angle. If it's greater than 90, so it goes farther out than 90, then if it's between 90 and 180 or 179, it is obtuse. So 91 to 179, any of those would be obtuse, or even I guess 90.1 if you want to go that far. A straight line is 180 degrees, right? You think about this right angle if it just opened up all the way and was flat. And then a reflex is greater than a straight line, but it's not 360 degrees, which is a full circle. So it's this whole big thing here, right? Like the acute angle is here, and if you looked at the rest of the angle, it would be a reflex because it would go all the way around. So that's just a little bit of a review. Let's jump into some of our problems here. Okay, we've got a picture here we're going to look at, and the question we're going to answer right now says, how are these two angles related? Well, if you look, we have angle DBC, which is this angle in between here. We also have angle ABD, which is this angle here. We know that ABD, angle ABD, is 57 degrees. We don't know what angle DBC is because it's X degrees. We don't know what it is. It's a variable. But if you look, you see that there's this little box here in the corner. That means this whole thing is a 90-degree angle. So the two angles combine to form a right angle, or 90 degrees. And so what equation could we use to solve for X? Well, if we know the whole thing is 90 degrees, and if you add the two angles together, meaning you add this 57 degrees and then whatever X is, you'd have 57 degrees, or 57 plus X equals 90. We want to isolate the variable, so we're going to take out this 57, subtract 57 from both sides. We end up with X equals, and then 57 minus 90 would be 33. So X equals 33 degrees. All right, let's look at another example. Michelle is designing a parking lot. She's determined that one of the angles should be 115 degrees. What is the measure of angle X and angle Y? Well, if we take a look here, first question says, how is angle X related to the 115-degree angle? Well, if you notice that this is a straight line, so then this full angle would be 180 degrees. So if you look at X, it has to be 180 minus this 115. So the equation we would use to show it would be 180 minus 115. You end up with 65 degrees. So X equals 65 degrees. How would you solve the equation? Well, you could say 115 plus X equals 180. Subtract the 115 from both sides. We already, spoiler alert, we answered that. We get 65 degrees. How is angle Y related to the angle that measures 115? Well, again, right here you have another straight line. So I'm going to use a different color here. So this angle would be 180. You take away the 115, and then once again you have Y equals, it also equals 65 degrees. So it's just a matter of looking at where you have straight lines, where you have right angles, where you can compare what you're seeing with what you already know about geometry and geometric figures. Okay, a beam of light is reflected off a mirror. Below is a diagram of the reflected beam. Determine the missing angle measurement. So, how are the angles in this question related? Again, we have a straight line here. So we know that this is 55, this is 55, this we don't know, but this whole thing is going to be 180 degrees because we have a straight line. So they add up, they add to 180 degrees. So what equation could we use? Well, we've got this 55, we've got this 55, then we have x. So if you add those all up, you're going to have 180. You can combine these terms here. 55 and 55 is 110 plus x equals 180. We want to isolate the variable, so we subtract 110 from both sides. This cancels out. We end up with x equals 180 minus 110, which is 70 degrees. Okay, I'm going to do one more example here. This one's a little bit different. Angle ABC measures 90 degrees. It has been split into two angles, angle ABD and angle DBC. The measure of ABD and DBC is in a ratio of 4 to 1. What are the measures of each angle? So they're not showing us a picture of the angle, they're telling us that the ABC, the whole thing is 90, but it's been split into two. So we know that the angle of ABD is going to be represented in a tape diagram of 4 parts because it's ratio of 4 to 1. So angle DBC is going to be 1 part. Here's the thing, when it says what is the angle, what is the measure of each angle, we know that if we come back up here, I'll switch colors and look at this, all of this adds up to be 90 degrees. So if we have the 5 units equal 90, we have 5, let's say 5a for angle, 5 angles add up to 90, 5 times a is 90. We're going to divide out, get rid of those 5s, end up with a equals 18, so each of these would be 18. So the measure of angle DBC is 18 degrees, right here. Measure of angle ABD is 18, 18, 18, and 18, so 18 times 4, which is going to give us 72 degrees. We can check that because we know 18 plus 72 is going to equal 90, which is what they told us the whole thing adds up to. So, we end up with 4 angles plus 1 angle equals 90. We combine the like terms. We made that 5a equals 90, and we divided from there, which was up here. Okay, that's all the time we're going to spend on this right now. We'll look at some more examples together in class. Hopefully this helped you out, and if you have any questions or need me, you let me know, and we'll continue to work through some more examples together. Thanks for watching, and we'll talk to you soon.